And switching up gears just a tad, this next segment is sponsored by Advanced Center for Pain and Rehab. Carpal tunnel syndrome is one of the most common hand injuries often associated with repetitive motion involving writing or typing. But what exactly is carpal tunnel, the symptoms involved, and even the treatments offered? Well, Dr. Paul Venturini of Advanced Center for Pain and Rehab is here to answer some of those questions, right?
Yes. So first of all, carpal tunnel, when you think of carpal tunnel, most people would think of the wrist, and that is true because the carpal tunnel is made up of bones and tendons and the nerves funneling through our wrist, right as it enters the hand.
Yeah.
And it's what we call the palmar aspect. So it's, yes, carpal tunnel typically is repetitive overuse, and that nerve can become pinched or it can become entrapped, inflamed. And then the symptoms would be numbness, tingling, burning, and it typically affects your thumb, your index, middle, and part of your ring finger. And basically the middle nerve is the median nerve, and it is common, especially if you have repetitive typing, computer work, running a jackhammer, vibratory tools. Over time, it leads to inflammation because that space in there where that nerve comes through is not very big. You got the tendons, the ligaments, and the bones that make that up. Yeah. And so when we typically think of carpal tunnel, if somebody has surgery, they do it right at the wrist. But with carpal tunnel, that nerve can become entrapped in several different spots in our forearm and arm. So not just at the wrist, it's at the forearm, it could be up in the arm, or even in the armpit.
Very interesting. So what are some of the signs and symptoms that we could see when we are developing carpal tunnel?
So one of the main symptoms would be numbness or tingling or burning or waking up at night and shaking our hands because it's numb. If it's chronic, if it's long enough, we could actually start getting weakness in the muscle, and typically that fat muscle in our thumb called the thenar muscle, that could become atrophied, and that's not a good sign if we're already seeing that. It's more chronic. So yes, numbness, tingling, pins, needles, burning is the most common symptoms.
Yeah, and of course there are ways to prevent this from happening, Dr. Venturini. So tell me more about that, as well as maybe even surgery.
Yeah, so again, surgery is like the last option.
Right.
And a lot of people wait too long and they end up having surgery. And unfortunately, if they do have surgery, and yes, it does release that tunnel and give some relief, but if it's entrapped above that, then you may see it coming back down the road. But so the conservative treatment would be, one, looking at their workstation, how are they sitting, how are they holding their mouse, so kind of ergonomic assessment. You want to be sitting upright, and we want a nice, comfortable, nice, neutral position of the wrist. That's why people at night will wear what they call a cock-up splint. It kind of keeps the wrist in a neutral position so they're not flexing it too much. But we do, in our office, we look at where that nerve can become entrapped, and then we do soft tissue techniques. So if the nerve is entrapped, we do exercises to get that nerve moving freely. We could do specific soft tissue, active release techniques, Grasson techniques to help release that nerve. We check it at different points along the way. And then combined again with typical rehabilitative exercises or simple exercises they could do at their desk, workstation. But the key is not letting it get so severe that you have to, ultimately do surgery.
Yeah, all this information is really good, especially if I am a typer all day as I produce the show, so this is just stuff to
one
know.
thing, so it's one simple thing is just stretching the hand. So if we're this way and we're always flexed, it's just simple to open the hand, stretch the fingers back, pull the thumb back, and just change the load, and do that every 15, 30 minutes, something simple, because if we're doing this and contracting that muscle, we need to do some flexibility.
Release that a little bit. Perfect. Guys, you can always head over to Advanced Center for Pain and Rehab's website or give them a call for more information. Set up an appointment. The team is great out there. Dr. Paul Venturini, thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me, Lamaya.
We'll see you guys right after this.
Thanks for watching. Stick around by subscribing today and don't miss a single video.